A couple of years back, Shauna was elected mayor of the city of Taunton, so we haven't talked to her as much on the air, but we still follow her, and she's doing a great job. And I wanted to talk to her about a really, I mean, it's infuriating, but it's amusing at the same time. It's an example of do as they say, not as they do. The Boston Globe built a new factory to print all of their papers in Taunton way back a few years ago, and they got all kinds of tax credits, tax abatements. Well, you know what's happened with the newspaper industry, first with the just the internet making the papers available online. Fewer people were buying them, the dead wood product, and then the pandemic cut it even more. So now the Globe, which supports higher taxes for everybody, whether it's the gas tax, closing quote unquote loopholes. They want to tax you. But I'm going to let Shauna O'Connell tell you what they've been up to down in Taunton, where they own a big factory. Mayor O'Connell, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show.
Hey, Howie, how you doing? Good to be back. It's been a while.
Tell us about what the Globe's been doing.
Yeah, so the Globe opened a facility in Taunton several years back, and it was an exciting time for Taunton. We were very welcoming, gave them some generous tax breaks to open up their facility that were about $1.3 million over 20 years. And so then when we assessed their personal property and taxed them on it, they didn't really want to pay it.
That's the equipment in the building. That's what they call personal property. That's the computers, the linotype, whatever they use in place of linotype machines, the printing presses, etc.
That's right. So that's all called personal property, that equipment. So and they were also supposed to, create 600 jobs, give preference to Taunton hires. So there were some things that they were supposed to comply with that really never happened either. So all in all, they didn't live up to the real essence of the agreement throughout the whole time.
So they promised 600 jobs, but I read here there's only 300 jobs. So is this
right now,
example of these greedy corporate Republicans stiffing the people of Taunton?
Yes, pretty much, Howie. Pretty much, and like you said at the beginning, they're big supporters of tax increases, including the gas tax and the millionaire's tax. So it's a little hypocritical that they didn't want to pay their own taxes, and not only that, they then asked to qualify to be exempt from paying taxes on that equipment. So they applied for a manufacturing classification so that they didn't have to pay any tax at all. They actually received
Mayor O'Connell, are you telling me the Globe didn't want to pay its fair share? Don't they know it's for the children? It's an investment in the future.
These big companies should be paying their fair share, especially according to people like, the Globe. So they applied for an abatement. We assessed them about $700,000. They applied for an abatement and didn't pay it this was back in 2019, and we were very far apart on their abatement. So we actually hired a professional appraiser to go in and look at their equipment and appraise it and assess it. Well, once we did that, they withdrew from their lawsuit and agreed to pay their taxes. So I'm thinking a professional appraiser would have possibly appraised it a lot higher than we did.
Yeah, and they also, in another way, I mean, they did multiple things to avoid paying taxes, which, again, I would do that, Shauna would do that, but we're not lecturing other people that they're not paying enough. The Globe is lecturing people they're not paying enough, and yet they're doing everything they can to avoid paying taxes. They set up a new corporation called Boston Globe Taunton Inc., and that was in that way they were able to not pay the city of Taunton $707,000 just by using that loophole in the corporate registration laws. You could have done a lot with that $700,000, couldn't you, Mayor O'Connell? No time Thank you, Shauna O'Connell. We'll have you on again soon. I'm Howie Carr.